What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Boxing back again with another one. I'm gonna talk about Floyd Money Mayweather. It's just been revealed that he's gonna have an announcement on April 17th, Wednesday, a special announcement, and he put on his website 100 million. A lot of people are speculating and saying, oh, they thinking maybe this could be a potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man Pacquiao. A lot of people speculating, well, maybe he might be fighting one of those young guns, or Errol the True Spence, Keith One-Time Thurman, or maybe a Sean Showtime Porter. They're speculating maybe he's gonna come back and fight one of those young guns that have belts. A lot of speculation running rapid. But I know one thing I know about Floyd Mayweather. If it's not making dollars, it's not making sense. And one thing about it, Floyd has not had a fight in a real fight since the Andre Berto fight, and that was what, 2016, somewhere around there, tail end of 2016, I believe that was. It's been basically 2.5, 3 years since he had an actual fight. I'm not going to count the Conor McGregor exhibition match. That was not a real boxing match. Floyd carried the guy for the early part of the fight, and then he decided to close the show and he got him up out of there. But I don't really count that as a real fight. His last real fight was against Andre Berto, and that was around 3 years ago. And I know one thing I know about Floyd: he's a smart fighter, smart businessman, and he's gonna put himself in the best position to win a fight. He's not gonna put himself in a situation where he could possibly lose a fight. So I think him fighting Manny Pacquiao is a pipe dream, in my humble opinion. I don't see him fighting Manny Pacquiao. Man, one thing about Manny, he's been active. He just got through fighting Adrian the Problem Broner in January of 2019. So he's been active. Before that, he had fought Lucas Matisse over in the Philippines. So he's been fighting active. You're not gonna get in there with a guy like a Manny Pacquiao, even at his advanced age at 40 years old. You're not gonna fight him after being inactive for basically 3 years. Because if that happens, man, I actually will pick Manny Pacquiao to beat him just based on Floyd being inactive for 3 years. So I don't see that fight happening. And I definitely don't see him getting in the ring with any of them young guns. Errol the True Spence, Keith One-Time Thurman, or Sean Showtime Porter. I don't see him getting in the ring with either one of those guys. You know, if it was I could possibly see another, situation like he had with Conor McGregor. But the guy Khabib fighting maybe a Khabib, but Khabib is on suspension, and I think he would have to get a release from Dana Whyte in Ultimate Fighting UFC. He had to get a release from them. And the last time they talked to Dana Whyte about this, Dana Whyte said, "Look, I'm not about to release Khabib to fight Mayweather." He said next time Mayweather, if he wants to fight Khabib, he needs to get in that cage and fight Khabib under UFC rules. That's basically what he said. I paraphrase it. He said basically if he's gonna fight Khabib, it's gonna be in a cage. It's gonna be under MMA rules. And he said we did this one-off with Conor McGregor. We let a UFC fighter come fight you in a boxing ring under boxing rules. But if you want to fight Khabib, it's just gonna be a UFC match under MMA rules. That's basically what he said. So I don't see that fight happening, especially with Khabib being on suspension. So I don't think that's going to happen. So I think what it possibly could be, I think he might have reached another deal with Rising, maybe to fight a couple of more exhibitions. A couple of exhibitions. Maybe he gets some of his fighters just under his banner to go over there and fight on the card and stuff like that. And he'll be over there promoting fights, and he'll be up under there, glad having everybody, talking to people, talking to a lot of the big businessmen, basically putting his name and face behind the event in Japan. I can see that probably happening. They maybe say if you do that, maybe do 2 or 3 fight deal with us. You fight a couple of exhibition fights, get a couple of your fighters to fight on the undercard. You're gonna be the face behind this whole promotional event, and we'll give you $100 million. Maybe I think that's maybe could be it. But again, I don't look to see. I know a lot of people going crazy on Twitter. Oh, Mayweather, Money May, he's coming back. Him and Manny Pacquiao. But trust me, if he's gonna fight Manny Pacquiao, he's gonna make more than $100 million. You remember the last fight they fought? The first fight they fought? Floyd Mayweather made around $280 million. Manny Pacquiao made around $170 million. Okay. Now, if they fight a rematch, it's not gonna be he's not gonna be making that much money. He's not gonna be making as much money as he made in the first fight. But trust me, he's gonna be making more than $100 million. Just knock $280 million down in half. That's $140 million right there. They just say he does half the business that the first fight did. That's $140 million right there. So you know, he's standing. And I believe he'll probably make more than half. I don't think it will do. I think the first fight did around about $4.3 million, $4.5 million pay-per-views. I say the rematch will probably do maybe $3 million. You know, $3 million. So that'll leave him well over $140 million. That'll run him a little bit closer to around $180 to $200 million range. So that's why I don't see that fight happening, especially with him putting that $100 million figure on his website. I don't see that fight happening. So again, in JB Boxing's humble opinion, don't look to see Floyd Mayweather in any meaningful fight. And now don't look to see it, because I don't see it happening. It's going to be, I think it's going to have something to do with Rising. It's going to have something to do with him fighting on some exhibitions. And it's going to have something to do with maybe some of his fighters fighting on the undercard. Or maybe one of his fighters like a Tank Davis might fight a main event, you know, on another date or something like that. You know, and that fighter, maybe he'll fight Tension, a guy that Mayweather slapped around. You know, maybe he'll fight him, and then, you know, that could do big business down there. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, he's probably been selling those people a dream about Tank Davis being the next him. You know, he's a carbon copy of him. He's a great fighter, undefeated. He's going to be taking over my throne, this and that. You know, people might have bought into all that, and maybe he'll put Tank Davis on the card, on a separate card on another date. And maybe that'd be part of the deal that he has with Rising up in Japan. So we'll see what happens, man. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's going to be Mayweather. But we're going to go on to some other things, man. We're going to talk a little bit about Dillan Whyte. Dillan Whyte came out recently and told Wilder that Wilder does a lot of talking, basically selling wolf tickets. And, you know, he's talking about he's this and he's that. And he basically called Wilder a crackhead. Pure jealousy. Pure jealousy. Look here, Dillan Whyte. You the only person right now don't have a fight. Wilder got a fight coming up with Dominic Breazeale on May 18th at the Barclays in Brooklyn. Anthony Joshua's got a fight coming up against Gerald Big Baby Miller June 1st at Madison Square Garden. Tyson Fury got a fight coming up June 15th up in Las Vegas. I think it's going to be the MGM, going against Tom Hanks, a.k.a. Tom Schwartz, you know, the Hollywood actor. You know, he's supposed to be fighting him. So everybody's got a date set up, but you the only one don't have a dance partner. You sitting here crying to the WBC, wanting them to give you a shot at the mandatory, give you the mandatory position to fight the winner of Wilder Breazeale without earning it. They've been told you last year, they ordered it, that you to fight a final eliminator against Luis Ortiz. And you ran like a white girl in a Freddy Krueger movie. Didn't want no smoke. You feel me? Didn't want no smoke. And now you want Jose Suleiman to gift wrap you a mandatory spot. Now it don't work like that, man. You've got to fight eliminator. You are the WBC silver heavyweight champion. And what that does is that don't put you in no kind of position where you're going to qualify for a mandatory. What that says is you must fight an eliminator. You fight the eliminator, win the eliminator, then you get a shot at the WBC title. That's how it works. So you and your boy Eddie Hearn crying to WBC thinking they going to feel sorry for you, you know, with them crocodile tears, and they going to go for and things going to go your way. It's not going to go your way. I heard you got a date set up July 13th at the O2 Arena. You know, you need to go on, be worried about trying to set up an opponent for that. You need to be trying to call Luis Ortiz and his people and be negotiating right now, because I'm telling you, when the ruler come back from the WBC, they're going to tell you you're going to have to fight another eliminator. It's going to have to be against Luis King Kong Ortiz. So you need to be negotiating with him and his people right now and trying to set that fight up for July 13th at the O2 Arena. Luis Ortiz already told you that he has no problem coming over there to London and fighting you in your backyard in fighting you. He ain't, had no problem with that. So what's the problem? You came out here recently saying that you offered him $2.2 million to fight, and that was a bald-faced lie. A bald-faced lie. You know good and well you ain't offered that man no $2 million. More like $200,000, which was basically saying you offered him something that you knew he wasn't going to accept. And you went on and fought Derek Chisora, and you was behind in that fight getting beat, and then the referee was helping you out. Every time you would lean on him, he was not taking no punch from you and stuff like that. And as soon as Chisora retaliated, he took a point from him. So you had the referee on your side. It was 2 against 1. But despite all that, Chisora was winning the fight, and then you caught him with a shot late and stopped him because I guess he felt that with the referee on your side and they was taking points that he had to go a little bit more aggressive and more reckless, and he ended up getting caught and got knocked out. But anyways, you won that fight, but now you've got to fight eliminator. If you don't want to fight the eliminator, then just go ahead and fight the other guys that are not top tier heavyweights. The Povetkin's and the Dave Allens and the people like that. The Manuel Charles and the fighters like that. Keep on fighting them, man, and keep being that UK British pay-per-view star that you've been lately. Don't go that route. But you're not gonna become a USA pay-per-view star, potential star, or a USA household name, a guy that I'm not gonna say a household name, but a recognizable face in USA boxing without fighting guys like Luis King Kong Ortiz, fighting those guys, and then getting in line to fight Deontay Wilder and having a chance to get the WBC title. That's how you become a world superstar instead of just being a UK pay-per-view superstar. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. But all that crying and stuff and calling somebody a crackhead because you mad and hating on you basically was hating on Brazil, saying Brazil has no chance and stuff like that, hating on the fight, calling them crackheads and stuff like that. But you need to do it. You need to do what the WBC been asking you to do and fight that eliminator against Luis Ortiz to get in position to fight for the WBC title. Again, I'm just going to leave it at that, man. I'm out, man. I'm going to get back to watching some more NBA, man. We got the Golden State Warriors coming on, facing the Los Angeles Clippers. You got Kevin Durant versus Patrick Beverly, round 2, man. Finna get up and sit back and watch this game, man, see what's going on. Again, this is JB Boxing, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.